welcome to another exciting episode of Wave the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka the Name Butcher, aka Hey You Get Off My Lawn, aka Kris, you're being creepy again. Wave the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun. If you're a first-time viewer, we do a lot of painting talk, as well as a lot of what's under the sun, meaning no topics are barred. We'll talk about anything and everything. So be warned, we can go off the rails pretty darn quick around here. So, but I think that's half the fun, isn't it? It's kind of, like rubbernecking an accident on the highway kind of thing. It's like, oh, what's that? Oh, geez, it's awful. It's awful. Don't look. For God's sakes, don't look. It's awful. It's awful. And this show is kind of like that. It's just, oh, no, you don't want to tune into that. For God's sakes, it's a train wreck. If you're attending live, you can ask your questions in the chat, whichever direction it might be in. And of course, if you're not watching this live, you can submit your questions to Kris@wavethebrush.com. It is in the description below. If you're going to send pictures, send them as attachments in the email. Don't send it off as links to other sites because it's just annoying and here's ads and all that other stuff, right? And of course, in the description below is a link for wavethebrush.com. Central hub of all this silliness, has links to all the social medias as well as Discord. Join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. We keep the conversation rolling there 24/7. So feel free to join us on Discord. We only have one rule. Don't be a dick. That's it. Just don't be a dick. And everybody's welcome. Everybody is welcome. Everybody and anybody is welcome. Just don't be a dick. If you're going to be a dick, well then don't bother showing up. Also at wavethebrush.com has links for t-shirts. Want to get yourself a t-shirt? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Wave the Brush t-shirt. And of course, if you purchase yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at wavethebrush.com. And of course, you'll find a link for Patreon. Huge thank you to all my patrons. Without their support, this channel and the things and upgrades and upkeep and all that just wouldn't be possible. And so a huge thank you to all my patrons. Again, you guys allow me to continue to keep the pretty colored lights on and do what I do, which is what I do. Sounds like a Popeye quote. If you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, sharing, ringing the bell, all that stuff helps tremendously as well. And all it takes is a couple clicks of a button and you're helping me out a great deal. So a huge thank you to everybody who does that as well. Huge. Speaking of huge, big thank you to our dear friend Carl, aka Guymere Allfer, aka Beer and Blood Bowl. We always take time to thank Carl, even though he is no longer with us, for creating the email jingles that play before the email segments of the show. And so always much love to Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby brother Evan for creating the intro, outro music that plays at the begin and end of the show. So always much love to my baby bro Evan. And if you're into rare comics, check him out, EB Comics, in the description below. He's got the rare hookup. He's got those rare comic books. In fact, I seen one he posted just recently. He has the Thor cross, and it's Jane picks up Thor's hammer. He's got that issue. He recently just posted that one. I thought that was pretty cool because and now I don't know if he actually opens them up and looks at them and examines them, but yeah. But anyway, he's got the rare hookup on the comics, so check him out. EB Comics. Is that it? Is that the spiel? That's the usual spiel, right? Who's joining us today? I gotta move this window here. This is intrusive. There we go. I can see Evan Belleau. Sup, everybody? Sup. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Howdy there, monkeys and monkey lord. Reckon it's about time I sent in an email. Shit, I've not done that. Done the shirt pick. God damn it, Ghost. You know what? You're gonna make me regret sending you that shirt because I sent it as a thank you, but it's kind of like I want something in return. That's right, I want Heine pics. More high knee pics. Anyway. Now the inbox is going to get filled up with a bunch of high knee pics. Anyway. I'm not going there. Reziel, hello, Reziel. Seems like a long time no see, Reziel. I know we were just talking like 12 hours ago. Brandon Taylor, a.k.a. Big Red, a.k.a. Big Red. Yeah. Haven't heard that one in a while. Sir Peanut Butter, morning, Kris and Peeps, morning. Lord Krabby, sup, Monkey Sensei, Monkey Peeps, morning. David Vega, what's up, Kris and Monkeys, what's up? Ghost of Starman Deluxe. They say that in ages past, Dick Whittington was the first person to be banned from the Way of the Brush Discord. Dick Whittington? Yeah, just don't be a dick. You can be a Richard, just don't be a dick. I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? You can be a Richard, but you can't be a dick. We should have that on a t-shirt. Enforcer 357, there he is. What's going on, monkeys? Thought I'd drop and catch the stream before D&D today. Oh, you're playing some D&D today. Cool. What kind of character do you run, Enforcer? Anybody who's not familiar with Enforcer, yeah, I'm going to make this joke, James, because it's hilarious. But if you ever see some of the pictures of the monkeys, if you see somebody in the pictures that looks like Seth MacFarlane, that's Enforcer. A much younger Seth MacFarlane, but yeah, he looks like Seth MacFarlane. He reminds me of Seth MacFarlane. Not the way he talks, because he doesn't really have that, deepish kind of voice. Deepish? But he looks like him. No. Now he's like, oh no, you asshole. Scott Radom, the new Warhammer Cursed City looks awesome. I missed that preview this morning, but I did pull it up, and you know what? In a moment, we will have a look at it, and I will give you guys my thoughts and feelings. My feelings. Is this a feelings kind of show? I don't know. Do we talk about our feelings in this show? I don't really remember. It's been a while. It's been a whole week since we did one of these, and I'm not sure we are all touchy-feely around here. We might be, because I am creepy, but yeah. Bayushi242. Hi, Kris and chat. Hi. Ghost of Starman. Uh-oh. I'll get it done today, I swear. Sure. Tell Java I got his money. Yeah. Tell him I got his money. I'm going to send Greedo after you. So little snoot nose thing. Actually, no, it's more like the aliens from Mars Attacks. David Brunfeld. They are still trying to find the bottom for the t-shirt. The rules of taking away of the brush shirt pick. Yeah, well. Enforcer, oh please do. I'm that Seth MacFarlane ass looking guy. Wish I had a deep voice. The hell are feelings? Yeah. What are feelings? I don't even know what feelings are. What are feelings? I used to have feelings. I used to be troubled by feelings, but then I said, you know what? It kind of like, how like, when you, okay, everybody can relate to that. Well, everybody listening to this can relate to this, I'm sure. Because pretty much all wargamers, we are all collectors, which in part is a hoarding mechanism, right? We hoard, and collectors like to collect and, hang on to things, and you know what I mean? So it's hoarding, right? Essentially it's hoarding. You're just gathering up shit you don't need, right? And yeah, it's I can't remember where I was going with any of this now. It was bullshit, of course, but feelings. Yeah. Oh, feelings, right? Purge. So if you eventually, collect a lot of shit, but then you're like, I got to purge this and get rid of it. Well, feelings are kind of the same way. If you have a bunch of unnecessary feelings hanging around, and you're like, oh man, this makes me angry, and I don't really enjoy this anymore, just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Purge it. Get rid of it. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. I don't think that's how the song goes, but Ghost of Starman. Oh yeah, my hype for the Cursed City just keeps growing. Okay, well, all right, you guys you guys are going on enough about this shit. I might as well have a look. Because, yeah, I missed this stuff this morning. And not that I, feel bad about it, but I kind of feel bad. So it's the 20th of February. The Games Workshop did their preview on the the thing, the Twitch. Oh, he's cool. He looks like almost like a 1-to-1 translation, other than a repose of a classic model. Like this looks like almost like a classic sculpt, but obviously more. Anyway, we'll get to that. All right, the light of the Lumineth gets brighter. Is that really the tagline they're going to go with? It's going to get brighter. Their future's so bright they got to wear shades. Let's have a look here. Oh, look at these guys. Let me make sure I'm on the right window here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Make it all nice and purty. I like it. Sword duders, dual blading. What were the guys for the High Elves that had all the swords? You know the guys. I dig the little helmet thingies. I mean, they give you something different. They keep with that kind of elfish, high elf vibe. I like this guy. I like the pose. And even their eyes are blue. They even painted the eyes a color. That's nice. Yeah, I like these guys. These guys are cool. Now, are they so cool I'm going to run out and buy a bunch? No. But, oh, look at on the top of this guy's banner pole. It's that little moonstone effect. I like that little moonstone look. I am kind of curious as to how Games Workshop goes about creating it, because I'm sure it's probably something really efficient for doing it. I demonstrated it a week or two ago. Just, my impression of how they do it. Not to say that is, how it's done. But if I was to duplicate it... Oh, look at that! A bolt thrower. The helmets kind of look like a fire brigade or something. Without the plume, of course, but yeah. I dig it, though. I like it. Now, is that guy have all those arrows on his backpack? He's carrying all those frickin' arrows on his back? Crazy. Gotta have good back muscles for that. But then again, they are elves. Yeah, I dig this. That's a nice update. I like that the bolt thrower doesn't feel too bulky like the previous high elf bolt thrower. This feels very smooth and, elegant. And it feels like it looks like a functional bit of, war machinery. War machinery? I don't know what the orbs are, though. On the base, those little things in the ground, like what are those? Are those like incense or something? Are those globes? Like if you're setting up an artillery position, do you really want to set up little lanterns that show the enemy where you are? Oh, look at this thing. Oh my gosh. This thing is purdy. Wonder how big it is. Like, is that archway big enough to hold like a monster, or is it just big enough to hold a character? I like this thing. Like little bonsai trees. Damn. This is purdy. The water is a little cartoonish, but that's okay. I'll forgive it. I wonder if it's... You see how like the water comes down, and then you see that part in between the water spouts, and it looks like it touches the ground. So it must be rocks that connect up. So it's kind of like almost like a tripod. It's got 3 legs kind of thing, and that's how it stands up. Because you definitely want this to be stable as well. Like it's not just enough for it to look pretty, but it's got to be functional as well. I like this piece though. Damn. It's pretty. The way it's painted is nice too. I mean, that's fine. I don't. Again, the waterfalls look just a little cartoonish to me, but I mean, you know, big whoop. And in fact, like, damn it, Games Workshop, like, realistically, when you have parts like this, man, these are really should be cast in clear. Like the water elements should be a clear plastic, so that if you want to paint it opaque like this, you can. But if you want, you know, it to look like real water and be clear, you could do that as well. Because I imagine that piece is probably not that long. Although those waterfalls are probably like 10 pieces each or something to assemble. I joke, of course, but who knows when people start getting their hands on this kit. I like this piece, though. I like it. It's cool. Oh, look at this guy. Oh. This guy's cool. Who's this guy? He's not a named hero. He's just a hero, I guess. Guess he doesn't get a name. This guy's really, really cool looking, though. I like his mount. This goat cat thing. I don't know. I mean, like if the Stormcast can ride around on dragon cats, these guys can ride around on goat cats, right? So, is it a goat cat? I don't know. But very, very cool. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, it's a pair. Oh. These two look like they're just fit for a diorama. Yeah, that's cool, man. Man, there's such cool looking models coming out for Age of Sigmar. I like it. I just like the whole flow and the actual like composition of this piece is really, really interesting. I just like how her toe is just daintily touching the buddy's back piece. I assume it's his back piece, but I don't know. I could be wrong. He could just easily been leaping off of his hair. I like the little owl. These are super cool. He's not bad. I'm not as excited for this guy. He's kind of fun. He looks like some sort of wizard. With... What are those shoes called? You know, famously in Holland, the wooden shoes. That's what it looks like he's wearing. He's wearing wooden shoes. So he's walking around in marshlands. Or you see it in like Japan, where they have like the, you know, like the stilted shoes. I like this guy though. I like the overall design of him, and his hat. His hat, as crazy as though it is pretty cool. Oh, look at this guy. He's floating. Oh, I like this piece. This is cool. Damn. Such cool looking models coming out for Age of Sigmar. I like this guy. This looks like something from like Chinese or Japanese artwork, you know, like the legends of like the heroes, you know, traveling through the clouds kind of thing. Standard bearer. Cool. Purdy. This dude. I like this dude. He's cool. Whatever he is, I don't know. He's pretty cool, whatever he is. And then back to this dude. This guy, I like the helmet on this guy. It looks like the those old guys for the High Elves. Not the Dragon Duders. Oh, the Dragon Duders are kind of the same way. They had like the dragon wings coming off the helmets. Anyway. Very, very cool. Lumineth Realm Lords. Oh, did they have the names there? Oh, here's the names here. Oh man, all these elvish names. Okay. Well, pretty darn cool. Oh, what's this guy? Krolgast? The Cruciator? Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, he's like devouring spirits and shit. Ah. The old spirit thing. Yeah, he's pretty cool. I'm not all into the the ghosties, the wraith stuff, but they're cool looking models. That's freaky. It's freaky deaky. And Kris is all about them freaky. Who's this dude? He's doing the superhero landing. He's literally doing the superhero landing. He's a goddamn superhero. He's a goddamn hero, man. Guardius Steel Soul. That's his name, Guardius. It's kind of on the nose, isn't it? Is this innuendo? I'm reading the paragraph here. The Lord Castellan, or Celestin, battled his way across Nurgle's garden. Nurgle's garden? If you need someone to purge your backyard of Nurglings, Guardius is the go-to guy. Yeah. Purge your backyard of Nurglings? Is that innuendo? Across Nurgle's garden? Meanwhile, whoever wrote this is probably like, fuck you, Kris. This almost sounds like if you read it in the Beetlejuice voice. Battles way across Nurgle's garden. If you need someone to purge your backyard of Nurglings, Guardius is the way to go. I got feelings running all through me. Anyway. Yeah, he's cool. He's a big hulking dude. I kind of like him without the helmet. Just because it looks, more heroic, when you have the helmet removed. It's just, it's heroic, right? He's got Thor's hammer and sword. No, it looks cool. It's cool, dude. The superhero landing. It's a cool trip. It looks like they did like energy on the base as well, where he's like impacting in. That's fun. Been watching a lot of Marvel movies, I assume. Yeah, here's this guy. This guy looks like he's straight out of, this looks like basically they just said, let's take a classic sculpt and let's update it. And that's what this is. That's what this looks like. Because even the sculpted shield, everything about this feels like right from the Lich King collection in old Warhammer Fantasy. And yeah, I mean, this is obviously something like a much needed update. There's just so much detail on this thing and so much texture. I dig it though. It's really cool. I don't even collect Undead, and this is cool. Again, I mean, if you were just going to simply update Warhammer Fantasy, then this is the kind of thing I would expect. But I mean, you ain't in old fantasy. You ain't getting this kind of thing in old fantasy. Are you kidding me? Look at that. That's awesome. Look at that. You ain't getting that shit back in old fantasy. That's cool as balls. All right, where the hell am I here? The Mob of Mork. Some orkies? Ooh, some orkies. Yeah. Some fun little orkies. I like them. Orky with his Bula Bula mask. Ooh. He's ready for a fight. He's fun. I think really with this kind of sculpt here is a really fun opportunity to play with, painting orc flesh. If you want to paint orc flesh, these are the guys to go with. Because, immediately looking at this guy, I can see all sorts of tattoos, scars, and, just all sorts of fun things I can see. It's really cool. He's like, no, you fucking want one? I'll give you fucking one. The dragon scale loincloth thing is kind of interesting. The way it's painted, it looks more like a bunch of diamonds. I thought it was rubies. But it's not. Oh, I like this dude though. This guy's just, straightforward. The Bula Bula Doctor. Very, very cool. Warhammer Underworlds. I guess this is the new 2-player set. Stormcast and Ghosts. Cool. Cursed City. Okay, here we go. Warhammer Quest. Cursed City. Begin your quest. Okay, so we're beginning the quest. I'll have to watch these videos later. Not watching them now. Watch them later. It's a big Warhammer quest. It's a box set. Oh. Oh, look at all the stuff you get. Oh, look at that big bat thing. What's the big bat thing? These all look like some unique sculpts. These are really cool. Is my dog down here? No. My dog doesn't like when I do that sound. Anyway. Oh, look at this guy. Or girl, I should say. I think it's a girl. Oh, I like this. It's kind of a classic kind of pose. But I like, it's got that eagle draped over it. Just clean, straightforward, no unnecessary details. It's your hero. Here you go. Get in there. Get it painted, I like this model. That's really cool. Oh, we've seen this dude before. This witch hunter, vampire hunter thing. Inquisitor? I don't know. Yeah, I like this guy. He's pretty cool. Ha! Little steam dwarf overlord thing. Oh, I like they painted the little gauge. The gauge has a color gradient going on in that. That's really cool. That's funny. That's a nice touch right there. I like this little dwarf dude though. His beard is metal. Oh, because it's like he's wearing a gas mask. I like this. I like this model. This is a really cool looking model. Does it make me want to rush out and buy a bunch of them? Oh, I remember seeing this model. This is really cool. Elf with a bow, or it looks like a wood elf or a Sylvaneth, whatever. Classic trope. Oh, look at this guy. Got his gun. He's got a sword. Walking around. I like his mustache. We could slap some glasses on him. Whoa. That's different. I like this. The beard. The big crazy long ass beard. It's interesting. Is it supposed to be a mask? Or is that his face? One can't be sure. I like this model though. It is very, very cool. Yeah, I dig this one. Huh? I like this one too. It's like some sort of priestess. Yeah. This would almost make like a good Sister of Battle conversion. Get rid of the comet markings and, put some Aquillas on it or whatever, and you got yourself a Sister of Battle preacher. Oh, he's cool. This guy's pretty cool. Damn. This is for this new box game? I like this model. Yes, it's very good. And this is the bad guys in it, I guess. Got some bats. Because, bats invariably are bad. Some rats. Ooh, some undead rats. Or are they wearing masks? Who fucking puts masks on their rats? No, it's got to be their faces, right? Maybe they run so fast that their face just peels right off. That's how fast they're going. Oh, yeah, because I see rat ribs on the other one there. So yeah, there must be undead kind of thing going on. Holy cramoles. What are these? It's like undead ogre thingies. Buddy on the right looks really cool. That looks freaky. Just like kind of the lips peeled back and, you know, see all the fucked up teeth. That's really cool. More undeader duders. Undeader duders. These are cool. Yeah. Man, all sorts of models in this box. What's undead? Ha! Zombies. Zambies. Zambi. Oh, they're carrying around their headstones. Why are they carrying around their headstones? They're locked to their headstone, I guess. The one in the middle, the one that looks like a female with long blonde hair, it's kind of comical. Like, she's just like, fuck, I gotta carry around this fucking thing on my back all the time. It's fucking bullshit. And some of them got like roots growing out of them. That's funny. Like, it's scary. It's kind of Night of the Living Dead. Yet it kind of has a bit of humor to it, which is kind of cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I dig it. Oh, even more. Or are they same? Just painted up differently. I think they're the same, just painted up differently. Yeah. It'd be kind of cool if you could swap around the backpack. I think my favorite, though, is that female character with the tombstone. Like, the whole thing is just a very interesting piece. And same with the other one down below with the roses. It's very cool. Oh, is that it? That must be it. Oh, there's more. And there's more. Alcarn or Alfencarn. Alfencarn? Jesus, that's a fucking name. Vampire lords. Craziest of scientists and dark twisted gravekeepers. Okay. Gravekeepers. This guy's really cool looking, though. Yeah, he kind of has this kind of like Russian czar type of vibe to him. Two big wolf heads on him. That's badass. Anytime you see a guy walking around, two big gigantic ass wolf heads on him, yeah, you don't mess with him. Oh, this guy. I remember seeing this guy with his candle and his crow. He almost looks like he'd be at home with like on a pirate ship, like Pirates of the Caribbean kind of vibe. Oh, he's got a little kitty cat or something with him too, or doggy. I don't know. He's got a bat. Oh, he's got all the tropes with him. He's got the doggy, he's got the bat, he's got the raven. Oh, he's got a rat on his hat. A rat on his hat. This sounds like we're busting into Dr. Seuss now. That's cool. Oh my god, look at this thing. Wow. This thing's cool. It's freaky. It looks like a brighter version of like Dracula from Bram Stoker. Dracula, the movie. Anybody ever watch that one? Anybody? Bueller? I like this. This is really cool. It's freaky. I like how they got the coloring and the fingers and everything. It's really cool. Oh yeah, well, I think we've seen this guy before. Oh, this is cool. I kind of dig this guy. I dig this. I like it. Yes, sir. I like it. It's very, very cool. It's a cool model. I like how, he's hanging off of this pillar and he looks like he's about to ambush you or, he's challenging you or kind of thing or, he's going to get you. Oh, there's another one. Oh, my God. Yeah. He's kind of just on top of the column. He's going to jump you. This one's like, no, wait. You're going to spill the kettle. No, the baby. Or am I projecting? Okay. Very, very cool. Cursed City. Warhammer Quest. So this is a standalone game. Huh. Oh, look at that objective marker. I like the little skeleton hanging off the noose thing. Lots of dice, counters, tokens, tiles, and a secret envelope. Ooh, the secret envelope. I dig this. This is something I might pick up, but it'll probably take forever to get painted. What do we got? A book? Okay, got a book. Story to get us into it. What's this? My vengeance will come. What's this about? I don't know. Oh, it's done. I don't know. Something chaos, I assume. Interesting. That's it. Visit the website. What website? I'm on the website. Tell me to visit a website. I'll visit the website. Oh yeah, I forgot you guys were there. The whole time I was going through the preview and I was checking everything out. But that's some cool balls. That's some cool ass balls. I like the High Elves, or the Lumineth. Very, very cool. That bit of terrain, this thing here, this is just too darn cool. That's just too cool. Like that kind of thing right there makes you want to buy a few of those sets and do up some terrain, like make like a little thing out of all this. Unless of course maybe this is supposed to be something special. I don't know, what is this? Shrine Luminor. Okay. It's a Shrine Luminor apparently. Whatever the hell that means. But yeah. I like this thing though. This thing's really cool. I dig it. Am I going to rush out and go buy it? Unlikely. Unless of course, a bunch of you asked me to do videos on it, then, I'd be kind of compelled to pick it up and, do it. But otherwise, not so much. Holy crap, there's a whole whack ton of comments I missed. Well, because I've been talking away here for a while, but yeah, who's all joining us by now here? David Brunfeld, Raziel, Evan Belleau, Ghost Starman, Be Serious, Magic Dudeheads, yeah. No fucks given. Old Man Logan, there he is. Harry, hey monkeys, just recovering from Nurgle Plague on the road of recovery and hope to get back at some painting soon. Well, hopefully you do. Hopefully. Lord Krabby. Aztec? Clogs. Oh, clogs, yes. The shoes. Yes, the shoes. Clogs. TH, hi monkeys, hi. Aztec, have you ever thought about designing your own custom figures and 3D printing them? Have I thought about it? Yes. Am I like on the verge of doing it? Not so much. I have a 3D modeling program, but it is, it is relatively like it's an easy program to use, but it's really, for more preliminary type of modeling. It's not really a refined thing. It's not like, ZBrush. I would love to play with ZBrush just because ZBrush feels more like you can take like a ball of clay and, you know what I mean? And it's intuitive in that regard that you can just kind of, this is apparently me sculpting. But anyway, yeah, ZBrush. I'd like to do ZBrush. ZBrush, though, is kind of pricey. Yes, I realize that there are illegal versions of it out there, but, I try to avoid that kind of stuff when I can. I'd rather, pick it up and, actually support the cause kind of thing. But yeah, I have thought about, designing stuff, and I've played around with, 3D sculpting, but it's usually more or less kind of just simple, primitive shapes, combining and removing, tapering, adding, and that kind of shit. Nothing terribly complex. Nothing like sculpting organic shapes or anything like that. Things that I consider real sculpting, right? Yeah, I haven't done anything like that. Not that it's outside my ability. I'm sure if I gave it, the old college try, could accomplish something within time. But no, it's not something I've started or actively started on. Where the hell am I? I'm jumping past a bunch of these comments here just because, there were comments about when I was showing pictures and stuff. Res Thrasher, Mongol Orcs. Yeah, they're kind of like Mongol Orcs almost, yeah. I mean, the green skin kind of was like, it looked kind of orky, but I think it's supposed to be undead green. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Res Thrasher, man, I need a good strategy game with Warhammer Fantasy, but I don't want just battles. I want some city management a la Warcraft or AoE or something. Yeah, I don't know if there's any kind of army fighting and then building as well in the Warhammer Fantasy world. I mean, Total War is the game right now, is the shit, but yeah, I don't know. You might have to keep looking. Serpina, but the skeletons are very copy and paste. Yeah, they are. But I mean, it says like there was 40 models in the bad guys section. Let me scroll back down here. Where is it? Curse City. Yeah, it says there's 42 hostiles, which is the skeletons, the bats, the zombies, and some other crazy crap. But yeah, 42 other models in there. So it's like 50 models plus 10 objectives. That's a lot of plastic in that box. It's probably going to be like a $200 box set, I would imagine. But the models are like really freaking cool. Like just from a model standpoint, the sculpts, like the heroes, they're all very interesting looking. Did we actually go through all of them? Yeah, we did. Yeah, because 8 heroes. I see 8. Yeah, we looked at everybody. Yeah, I don't know who the favorite would be. I like the female hero with the eagle on the shoulder. I like that model. And I like the buddy with the big long chin beard thing. And the female with the veil and everything like that. That's really cool. The elf's cool as well. Buddy with the pistol. It kind of reminds me, like, Buddy with the pistol reminds me of like a rogue trader or something, I imagine he's probably more of like a merchant. The female with the eagle is probably like a knight crusader. Obviously the elf's the archer, cleric, mage. I don't know what the dwarf would be. The ogre's obviously muscle. The witch hunter's a witch hunter, But I like it though. It's cool. And it's definitely something that I might look into acquiring down the road. Now, mind you, I mean, Games Workshop's been showing us a lot of this stuff, but I mean, it could be like summertime by the time we get this stuff, So, if you're eyeballing this and you need to save some pennies, you might want to start saving your pennies now for when this comes out, because guaranteed it's going to be like a $200 price tag probably for this box set. But yeah. Ghost of Starman. The zombies carrying headstones because the headstones incorporate stakes through the heart to stop them rising as undead. Seems like it didn't work. Do you see stakes in them? Or are you having me on? Ha! No, they got fucking stakes through them. That's hilarious. I didn't even notice that. Good catch, man. Or you just caught the description. Did you catch the live show this morning? Was that what it is? Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, they have their stakes impaled. That's why that shit's on top of them, because it's staked through them. That's funny. Like the one on the bottom there with the roses, it's very obvious that, the stake with the roses harpooned right through. Buddy with like this, I was going to say a birdhouse, but it's not a birdhouse. It's just some grave marker. But yeah, you can see it's impaled right into him. That is hilarious. Hilarious. Not just hilarious. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's very cool. Red Starship. Yeah, it looks like the large bat, Gary Oldman. I don't think I like the paleness. Though it makes sense to bring him out in the sunlight. Yeah, bring him out in sunlight. Yeah. Be serious. Going to be pricey. Yeah, it's going to be a pricey box set. I'm sure. Ghost Starman. Give the Chaos vid a quick watch, Kris. Pretty big news. Oh, it's big news, is it? It's big news? Okay, hold on. All right. I'll watch the video. I'm not going to play it, though, just because, I don't know, fucking YouTube and Twitch and, playing other... Well, I guess I can't really play it with the sound because I don't have... See, that's why I didn't bother playing the videos, is because I don't have the sound, and I'm sure I'll get marked. No, I can't play the video. I'm not going to play the video, I should say. Well, do I need to see it or more hear it? Let's pretend I only need to... Shut up. There we go. There. Oop, no. There we go. Okay, I turned the volume down. I'm just watching it now. The logo, big wings, chains. Oh, is this that Chaos Champion? Balthazar or whatever the fuck his name is. Balcor. Ooh, nice flamey sword. Skulls and hooks. Very Chaos. Nice big shot of his pecs and abs. Ooh, Chaos Warrior's on fire. He's pointing at something. He's got the one ring. He's got the one ring on his finger. That's it? Yeah, that's that Demon Prince. Balthazar or Belcor, whatever the fuck his name was. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get it. Is it groundbreaking? No. Hopefully, he's bigger. He's more of a menacing looking model. Because the previous one is kind of, it's kind of like, when you look at like the greater demons of chaos way back in the day, like the old, Bloodthirster and, Nurgle and everything like that. And they're only about like yay big, made of pewter, compared to now, Bloodthirster's like this big and, how times change. But yeah, it's Demon Prince. It's Balthazar or somebody. I can't remember what the hell the Demon Prince is. I remember it being used in a lot of conversions. Brendan Taylor, how would you paint fish scales? How would I paint fish scales? Well, I mean, I like if I'm going to go about them in an opaque color, then I'd paint them in the normal fashion. If I was going to be speedy about it, I'd probably use like a contrast or whatever. Now, if we're talking about the reflectivity and the luminescence and like getting the actual appearance of fish scale, well, there's many ways to go about it. You could start off with like a metallic and use a contrast on top of it, thinned out, of course, just a tint, and create color variants. You could also use metallic paint like from Turbodork, or even a color shift paint. That would actually be pretty fun. You could also go with Spastics for like a metallic or even a holographic. They have a holographic paint, which gives you that holographic type look. And the other one, the tried and true, is just take an iridescent medium, paint it whatever colors you want, and then put in just a thin layer of iridescent medium on top, and that'll give you that rainbowing metallic look. And you can do it all by hand or by airbrush, either or. Although running the iridescent medium through an airbrush, it does funny things. Just because of the mica flakes, it kind of like becomes really, really chunky on a surface. So I don't really recommend like Liquitex iridescent medium, like this stuff. Yeah, I got a big bottle of it right there. And yeah, I wouldn't recommend running that through the airbrush. Anything like really with big pigment in it, like metallics, yeah, they actually, if you spray too high, you get like this dusting and you get chunks, essentially. Versus if you take the PSI down and work a little bit closer, then it lays on nice and easy. But yeah, I would probably there's many ways to go about it. Really, what is the look you're looking to replicate? I guess is really what the question is. Because if you're going to spend a lot of time on it, then yeah, just use opaque colors and paint the colors and create the transitions and do the edges and do it nice and neat. If you're looking for something kind of, to accomplish, like if it's for a tabletop and you're looking to accomplish, a fairly quick and repeatable type of procedure, then I would, recommend something along the lines of like a metallic with contrast or clear color on top. Or if you do with a opaque color and then just lay the iridescent medium on top, and you get your effects like that. But it's really what kind of finish are you looking for, and is it something that is just going to be for a character, or if it's going to be repeated? Like, are you doing like the deepkin, right? If you're doing deepkin, then you want it to be repeatable kind of thing, right? So yeah, it's really, I guess, Brandon, B-Man, what are you looking to accomplish? Like, what is the effect you're going for, other than just scales, right? Scott Radum, Witch Hunter looking dude is my first overall draft pick from that box. The Witch Hunter dude, yeah, he's cool. He's not the first thing I go for, but yeah, I like the Crusader. And I also like the buddy with the big long chin hairs. I like him. It's got a nice flow to it. I don't know. And the same with the cleric, the one that looks like sister battle type thing. I think that one's pretty cool as well. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Black Fortress has 44 models and is 95 pounds. Hoping Curse City will be around 120 tops. Yeah, well, 120 for you is 200 for our Canadians. It's over 200 actually. Basically, to British pound, basically just double, essentially double the amount, and that's pretty much what you're looking at for exchange. John J. Hello, monkeys. Hello, John. It's been a while since I read John. The name John, not read John. It's not like I'm sitting here reading him like fucking clairvoyant or anything. Evan Belleau, Kris, are you adding a new Way of the Reaction segment? Way of the Reaction? Yeah, just boo, no, yeah. Just run through the gambit of emotions. Yeah, no. Enforcer, I believe it's a Demon Prince, bath salts. A bath bomb? Yeah, doing bath bombs. They could. Why not, right? Brandon, I like the look of the fish scales on the box art for the Kraken Eater. I'm not sure what the Kraken Eater is. Kraken Eater. Because that almost sounds like a come on line. Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. What's the Kraken Eater? Oh, okay, the big guy. Is that what we're talking about? These big giant duders? He's the Kraken Eater? Because he's eating Krakens? I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So fish scales, like on his arm, is that what we're talking about? Those scales on his arm, or are you talking about like painting his flesh like it's fish scales? Because that'd be cool too. Or are you just concerned about how to do the scales on the arm and anywhere else that looks like fish scales? Because I mean, like, are they fish scales or are they dragon scales? Or are you painting him up like he's got fish scales? So many questions. But very, very cool. Looks like a big ass model too. Well, these are the wave of like the big giants, right? Yeah. The Behemoth, or whatever the hell they're called. Yeah, the scales on his arm. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's whatever way you want to do them. I mean, the scales on the arm. I mean, it's whatever you imagine. I mean, like, I would assume scales on the arm. I wouldn't assume fish. I would assume dragon. It's a Drakenhof that he's Drakenhof. Anyway, it's something like that he's killed and he's using it as a fan brace, right? I mean, you know. So it go whatever route, you know, makes sense to you. I mean, do you want to use a metallic there? Do you want to use an opaque color? Do you want to use an opaque color and put a iridescent on top of it? You know, personally, especially how big that surface is, I'd probably go with an opaque color with a slight metallic sheen added to it. So iridescent, or take a metallic down to a glaze, and then just you glaze like some of the high points of scales and gives you that metallic-y shine to it. That's a way to go. I mean, again, it's really however you imagine it. You know, it's like, what do you see? What do you see? You know. Heretic Scott, there he is. Hey monkeys, what I miss? Not much. Just going over the preview. Jesus, wait, it's already one. Just going over the preview that was this morning from Games Workshop. Just giving my thoughts because I didn't catch it this morning, so I was kind of just running through it really quick. Harry, so what are your thoughts on indoor model spray booth? Any suggestions? I'm hoping to get back at it, but I really need to get rid of Plague first. Plague? The Plague? Or the plague? Give him the plague. Thoughts on an indoor model spray booth? Go for it. Do it. It'll help keep you kind of productive instead of going outside to do your spraying or in the garage, where it gets cold, right? You can do it in your workspace. Now, indoor spray booth, yes. Make sure you have a fan taking those particles out, vent it out into the outside. If you're working with any kind of, you should always be wearing some sort of respirator or, mask. Just like even a dust mask, like for the drywall, the N95 mask, right? Even if you're working with water-based acrylics, you should, just because it's just dust and they say it's non-toxic, but err on the side of caution. I mean, what's the harm of wearing the N95 mask while you're working, right? But if you're definitely working with, solvent-based acrylics or any kind of solvent-based paints, enamels, that kind of thing, you should wear a respirator. Something N95, something with some real protection. Just because, you're working with, alcohols or spirits, lacquer thinners, those kind of things, you're atomizing it, it gets into the air, breathe it in. So, don't do that. Get yourself a mask, right? I mean, I have my trusty rusty N95 right here for when I, work with anything, questionable, like Tamiya paints, using alcohol to thin it out and then spraying it. Yeah, you need a mask. You definitely should be using a mask. But I mean, using just like the like the N95 like drywall masks, that works as well. Anything N95 will give you good protection against most particles. And yeah, but definitely vent your booth outside. And if you're really working with some, chemical-based type paints, yeah, you definitely need a respirator. Definitely. 100% should be using a respirator. Does Kris use a respirator every time he airbrushes? No. Because a lot of times I'm doing it for camera and, but I should be even when I'm doing it by camera, but I don't. But that's on me. That's on me. And your work area is going to get dusty. Yeah. I definitely still need an airbrush space. I do have room to put one in, but because I have a window right here that I can just vent it out and, for venting. But yeah, I just haven't gotten around to acquiring one or building one. I flip-flop back and forth as far as building one or, acquiring one. Because there's some you find, like on eBay, they're just like, just fold them back down. About the size of like a briefcase. You can just, they're compact and, they're only a couple $100. And it's like, or should I bother building one, where I can build something custom and put like a big proper fan in it. And then, there's all these things. But then I got to go through the time to acquire, build, set up, It's always that question of, time versus money kind of thing, right? But anyway, yeah. Greenleaf Terrain. Yo, 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 yo. Yo. Word, dog. Yo. John J., I'm an open book. So I'm reading. Okay. Hold on. He's thinking right now. Honey, could you get me a coffee? Am I close? Well, by the time you see this, there'll be a delay. So. Dark Commission. Stormhost Silver with color shifts on top are great for scales. Yeah. Yep. John J, I have an indoor spray booth. I vent it to a pillowcase, actually, and of course used filter on my spray booth. Works like a charm. Yeah. Yeah. That's really about it. It's not like especially if you're only working within water-based acrylics and you're airbrushing that, and you know what I mean? Like, dust is a bigger concern than, you know, any kind of contaminants, right? But your work area, if you don't do the spray booth thing, yeah, your work area is going to get covered in dust. Just because, you know, you're atomizing that paint, and that paint that just floats in the air and then slowly settles down, and, you know, it's dust. It just it covers everything in dust. Raziel, I'm wearing my paint mask in my profile pic like a death guard. I'm building an indoor booth using the design Black Magic Craft came up with for inspiration. Cool, yeah. Harry, COVID-19 got me. Been looking at portable hobby airbrush booth kit. Have been working at portable ones on eBay, or been looking at portable ones on eBay. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, like, you know, you weigh the cost, right? Building one, the time, acquiring materials, setting it up, and, you know what I mean? And the benefit being that obviously you can create something that best suits your needs, be it budgetary constraints or, you know, your hobby area, you know, your physical dimensions of, you know, how much space you need, and, you know, and of course you also got to weigh, this expenditure versus how much you actually airbrush. Like, if you don't airbrush that often, you know, but you really wanting to get into it, then, you know, this might be also something to motivate you to do more painting as well, acquiring the booth, right? So there's many positives, negatives, you know what I mean? And you got to just weigh the costs of everything, and then just, you know, dive in and do it. Most of the time I lean towards acquiring one. Just buy one, just get the table, bang, set up, done, vent it, boom, I'm done, right? Most of the time. Then sometimes I'm like, well, yeah, if I build one, then I can do this. I can get a nice big area. I can incorporate some big proper lights in it, because I'm also thinking that with the custom air booth, I can set it up better for filming, so that I can film my airbrushing. But already, whenever I'm airbrushing on camera, it's in my work area anyway, and you know what I mean. Like, it's not a huge issue, because most of the time I'm working in water-based acrylics. Whenever I am working with solvent-based paints or enamels, like say Spastics are enamel paints, and yeah, I use the Respirator, because I use thinners, like lacquer thinners, to thin the paint and everything like that. So yeah. And also part of my cleanup as well. But even like just airbrushing, like, you know, I picked up this little cheapie here. It's just an overspray cup, and it's got a little filter in it and everything like that. And I just spray, and it's got a little brush holder on it. And, you know what I mean? It works great. And that's dirty as hell. Oof. That's some toxic waste right there. But, you know, all my overspray goes into that. You know. And the little filter works. It's got multiple filters, so you can change them out and replace them. Yeah. It's all part of procedure. I mean, there's all, like, when you get into the airbrushing side of things, especially the amount of airbrushing that you do, yeah, you definitely want to acquire some of these accessories that help, you know, keep you organized, keep your work area clean, keep you safe, you know, health-wise. And then, of course, keeps you productive, right? So, yeah. Lord Krabby, Kris never really asks, what is your favorite superhero or supervillain? Favorite superhero or supervillain? Growing up as a kid, I had two favorite superheroes, Superman and Incredible Hulk. Those are my two favorite superheroes. Supervillains, Magneto, X-Men, Magneto. As I got older, I identified more with Magneto's struggles than other X-Men, other than maybe Colossus. Colossus was like one of my favorite X-Men, and Wolverine to an extent. I was more of a fan of Colossus. Colossus being my favorite, you know, superhero. But yeah, if we're talking superheroes though, yeah, supervillain, Magneto. I'm trying to think of like any DC supervillains. I can't think of any good ones. DC supervillains are all too wacky. Which is why I like the whole X-Men universe stuff, you know. I gravitated more towards X-Men than any other type of, you know, superhero comic book type stuff when I was still into comic books. Not that I'm not into comic books, it's just I don't actively collect them anymore or anything like that. I don't even have any. Do I have any? No, I don't have any. I just had to look around. I don't have any. But yeah, so Magneto for supervillain, and for superheroes, yeah, I'm between the Incredible Hulk or Superman. When I was really young and impressionable, like small, like just a little squirt running around, it was Incredible Hulk. Yeah, there's actually pictures of me like when I was like 4 or 5, and we were at some park, and I was stomping around like I was the Incredible Hulk. Because I used to watch the Incredible Hulk TV show. The one with Lou Ferrigno. I used to watch that, and yeah, that's why I was Incredible Hulk. But yeah, anyway, where the hell am I? Reziel, pretty sure I'm going to build my booth with super minimal or opening top. Yeah, see, like again, I mean, like when you're building your own. Right, you're kind of creating it for permanent type of setup, right? Like you're just bang, this is where the booth is going to be. It's going to go out, and big industrial fan plugs in here. You know what I mean? Bang, we're done. It's going here, and it's not moving, right? With most custom type of setups, with the pre-made ones, you know, like the one I mentioned earlier, it's kind of like a briefcase. You just open it up, and you know, and that's more portable. And can also be taken down and, you know, put back up. And, you know what I mean? So, like, if, you know, space is a premium in your home and your hobby area, yeah, you know, you might want something more like that. Something that's collapsible, put it away, take it out when you need it kind of thing, right? Especially if, you know, if it's weeks between paint session, right? You know, like you only get to paint every other week, or, you know, maybe it's once a month, and, you know what I mean? So you set up, you're going to get a whole bunch done, you know, like, because assembly, you know, it's pretty straightforward. You could sit there with a, you know, TV tray in front of you while you're watching, you know, your shows, and just, you know, assemble stuff. Painting requires a little bit more concentration. Airbrushing, you know, it's a bit more procedural, and it's kind of like, well, we're going to do a bunch of priming and base coating today. Well, we've got all our models that we've assembled for the last couple weeks. Bang, we can have a big tray here, and then you just start priming away, and it's just kind of assembly line type of thing. You're just, you know, going through and just, you know, working through. So, you know, again, it's really all about your needs, right? It's all about your needs. What do you need to happen here? Do you have a permanent setup, you know, permanent cave where you're going to work and you're going to have this booth? Then you might want to build something. If space is at a premium, and, you know, you're not always airbrushing all the time. In fact, it's like once a week. It's, you know, once every month. You know what I mean? Like something that can be taken down, and, you know what I mean, and set back up, and, you know, or the space. Again, there's many different variables. Everybody's not the same, and so, you know, acquire whatever makes sense for your situation, really. I don't even know where the hell I am. Harry, thanks for the input. I've got a boatload of GW, and I just wanted to up my painting. Yeah, upping your painting. When people mention this, I want to up my painting. I want to, you know, get to the next plateau, right? You know what is the best thing for getting to any other plateau? Any plateau in your mind, right? In your mind, you're at some sort of plateau, as we often imagine it. The best way to get to the next plateau is to keep working, to keep painting. So if you're not painting and you're mired by thoughts and, you know, and you're making excuses for this and that, you're not going to get there. You're not going to get there. You've got to just keep painting. You'll get there. Just keep climbing for those other plateaus. Of course, you know, I mean, if you're on plateaus, I mean, you could also go up or down. I mean, right? Side to side. I mean, jump across. You know, I mean, like there's many different ways to explore that metaphor, but you just got to keep working. That's it. Just keep working. And to keep working, it's about, you know, acquiring new materials. Then it's about acquiring new materials. But whatever keeps you painting. So keep painting. Don't let things, you know, don't let these thoughts impede your progress. Just keep painting. Raziel, Batman and Dr. Doom. Batman's cool. I like Superman, though. Lord Krabby. Good choices, Raz. Raziel. Dr. Doom could be my favorite hero, technically, too. See, I don't know enough about Dr. Doom, so I just kind of, you know, meh. Nick Dumont. DC is too wacky. Meanwhile, Nightcrawler teleports himself back to life. Does he? Yeah, I mean, DC, I mean, like, yeah, the heroes and stuff like that, you know, like, they're really not that relatable because they're so super, right? Like Wonder Woman, you know, fantastic character, but how relatable is she? She's practically just Superman, you know? Like, and even Superman is kind of not really that relatable because, I mean, he's too fucking perfect, you know what I mean? Like, you know, he's a nice idea. But as far as, you know, getting behind and feeling the struggles, and you know what I mean? Like, you know. Whereas Incredible Hulk, gets mad and he fucks everything up, and, you know, he makes bad choices when he's the Hulk, which is kind of the point of the Hulk, right? I mean, you know, when we get mad and we rage out and rage takes over, we end up making choices we regret. And that's kind of the Incredible Hulk, right? You know, so there's something kind of relatable there. Something, you know, yeah. Rezia, Kris as Dory. Gotta keep painting. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Whenever I say gotta keep swimming or just keep swimming, that's what I mean. That's the joke I'm making, is you just gotta keep going. Just gotta keep going. Just keep going. That's it. It's good advice. It's just sound advice. Yeah, it's from a kid's show, but just gotta keep going. You know, it's sound advice. No fucks given. Did you ever airbrush in your undies? I turn up the heat in my hobby room for faster drying and less humidity. Also, I hate spitting on myself, boxers and flip-flops. No, I don't airbrush in my undies. I don't know if I've ever really painted in my undies. Maybe in my youth, maybe. But no. Usually, like, whenever, because I work from home these days, I usually start my day kind of like how I would if I was working a job. Get up, shower, eat some breakfast, drink a cup of coffee, and then start my day. Usually. It's how I like to try and work things. So, like, when I'm in my basement, I'm not very relaxed. I'm dressed like I would if I was going to work. And I maintain that mentality because when you're too relaxed, then you just kind of, you become really kind of, you know, blasé about everything, right? It's just, don't worry about it. Get to it later. You know? Whereas, you know, if you're dressed like you're ready to do some work, well then, you know, yeah, you feel like it. So if you're worried about, you know, getting paint splatters on you and stuff like that, which, you know, I get paint on myself all the time, you know, from paint splatters, spills, whatever's, right? Overspray, tons of overspray on my hands all the time. You know, start wearing gloves or start wearing something like coveralls, right? Wear coveralls and protect your clothes, but be dressed underneath. But you know what I mean? Like, but maintain the mentality of, now, mind you, I mean, this is what helps me get into the headspace to get work done, because I treat it like work. Because painting miniatures and making a living at it, it stops being a hobby at that point and it becomes more of a job, right? And that's what it is. And so the hobby stops being a hobby. It stops being for fun. You can still have fun at your job, but the whole point of a hobby is so that you relax and have fun at it. And don't take it seriously and just putz around with it, right? But in my case, I treat it like a job. And I take it seriously in that regards. You know, that's the big difference. So for vast majority of you, this is a hobby, and it should stay that way, because a hobby is supposed to be fun. Those of you who want to be commissioned painters or, you know, make YouTube channels and stuff like that, well, you have to change your mindset, because it's not a hobby anymore. It's a job, and you got to take it with that amount of seriousness. So that's the big difference. So anything that really kind of works for me, I mean, it works for me, you know, and everybody's different. So, you know, some people are like, well, this is just a hobby. I just, you know, paint for the fun of it. Well, then, yeah, good. Keep doing that, you know. Oh, I want to paint for competition. Okay, well, great. Keep doing it. You know, that's what you want to do. But it's when you start, you know, mixing wheelhouses and, you know, and stuff like that, that's when things start to get really complicated. And, you know, it's not that you can't do it or shouldn't do it. It's just, you got to be aware of it. You got to be aware that these are the areas you're starting to tread into, and, you know, things change, you know, and you have to adapt. Brent Taylor, Green Lantern, you heathens. Yeah, see, I couldn't get into Green Lantern either. No. A lot of DC superheroes, it just, you know, they're all just too perfect. They're all just too perfect. They're all too super, and so the villains all have to be ridiculous, you know. But Marvel suffers from that as well. It's the nature of superheroes. Reziel, I'm a big Deathstroke fan too. Oh, you love the Deathstroke, do you? Scott Radom, it's an oldie but a goodie. Batman is gonna get shot in the face. Is worth a watch. Batman's gonna get shot in the face. Okay. Lord Krabby, I remember I used to be a shitty painter until Kris told me the same thing. You will get better. Trust me. I always find my other friends better painter than I. Sure. Yeah. I mean, as you develop as a painter, I mean, don't compare yourself to your friends as far as how they're painting. I'm not saying that you can't admire their work and can't appreciate their work, can't learn from their work. Definitely, all those things do apply. But don't compare yourself to others' work. Compare your work to your previous work. You'll find that much more rewarding. You'll find it less discouraging, because ultimately, you know, there are many factors in which somebody will progress quickly and past you. They'll pass you, right? You could be somebody, one of your friends, who was, you know, you introduced them to this hobby, and then a couple years later, all of a sudden they're painting way better than you. And it's like, whoa, what happened? Does that mean I'm crap? No, it just means there are many factors. They put in a bunch of time. They really enjoy it. They're very enthusiastic about it. You know, they were taking lessons on it, and whereas, you know, you were busy with other stuff and blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's many factors that go into play for somebody progressing really, really well, quickly in this hobby, especially nowadays. 30 years ago, not so much. You know, but now, because there's information is just everywhere. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why somebody can't progress very, very quickly. But anyway. Harry, wow. Well, that went weird. No fucks given. I often drink coffee, flip-flops, shorts, and boxers, so some airbrushing, varnish, then do my shit shower and shave, and then I do my normal brushwork. Sure. Well, whatever works for you, man. I mean, whatever works for you. David Brunfeld, for me, I like Punisher and Judge Dredd, but not a fan of the comics for the most part. Punisher? I was never really a big Punisher fan. I mean, I like the idea of Punisher, but it's not like, you know, yeah, Punisher, badass, you know? Because I mean, from my take of Punisher all the time is that he's a very troubled individual, you know, and he's dispensing what he views as justice. He's kind of like Batman, but, you know, not more killy. Lord Krabby, my favorite hero is Nightwing, and Luther is my favorite villain. A little xenophobic, but he isn't wrong. Aliens will always be a double-edged sword. Imagine if Luther was a good guy. How badass he would be. If he was the good guy and he's xenophobic, it's not really the right message to send to people, right? Because intolerance is not good in any light you want to shine it. Intolerance is not a good thing, because it's a shortcut to thinking. It often relies on bigoted and prejudiced views of things. Even if we're talking about a space alien who's our hero kind of thing, and being intolerant towards aliens. I mean, that's not a good thing. Now, mind you, we're not at that point where we're intermingling with aliens. Who knows if that day ever comes? Seems highly unlikely, but it's not really something that we have to worry about right now. So it's fantasy, I realize, but there are parallels to our own world in which these comic books are created and written, and the stories they're telling are often mirrors of our own world, and that's the point of the stories. There is a moral to the story. And the moral is that, intolerance is not a good thing. maybe read more X-Men comics. Harry, don't paint in your undies, episode 334. Lundy left? Holy shit, I actually caught a show. What's going on? It's Aqua. Oh, Aqua. What's happening, buddy? Top of the day to ya. He's in Ireland. Aqua's in Ireland. Now, mind you, he is Irish, in Ireland. And here I am using a stereotypical voice to say hi to him. Top of the morning, Anyway. Is that racist? It's got a little bit prejudiced, isn't it? Biased? David Brumfield. My dream of having the job as the worst painter is dashed. No, not really. Enforcer 334. Painting in my skivvies. In my skivvies? In my undies? No fucks given. Red Hood Robin and Dick Grayson Reborn are favorite DC heroes. Never read them. Not even familiar with them. Enforcer 334. I remember I was a terrible painter till Kris told me you are. I kid, of course. Kris taught me to this day how to perfect my painting, and I've come a long way thanks to him. Well, you got to share some of your painting, though, dude. I mean, I got to see how you're doing. I'm curious. I'm not going to critique your work. I'm just saying I'm kind of curious, Not curious. I'm not saying, James, I'm curious. That's an entirely different conversation. All I'm saying is keep it in your pants, bud. Keep it in your pants. Heretic Scott, I really enjoyed The Boys for that reason. Yeah, I like The Boys. Talking about curious and boys. It was way more believable, and the level of collateral damage caused by the Supers' actions. Plus, they aren't anything but perfect. Exactly. The Boys is really for that show to come out, it is a really good time for that, because we are in this whole, superheroes are really awesome and great. And, they kind of explore it in, Civil War? The collateral damage aspect, because that's really something. Like when you watch Man of Steel, can you imagine the amount of collateral damage in that, just between Superman fighting Zod? The amount of people that are just killed from all that, and nobody bats an eye. It's, because he's the hero, right? And it's kind of like in Warhammer 40,000, it's kind of like the same thing. We are never really given the perspective of the collateral damage of the average human who's observing all this and how it impacts them. Like Space Marines, they're always portraying Space Marines as the heroes, but their actions are never heroic. Not never, but it's such a definitive statement. But I mean, they're very rarely heroes, it's like the Imperium is designed to service them and not the other way around. They're not servants of the Imperium. right? And that's what Space Marines should be. Just like modern day soldiers. Modern day soldiers, serve to protect the greater whole of society, right? In conflict. When you are, resorting to conflict, that is the final last step of a failed diplomacy, right? Is you have to go to war. Okay, well, now we got to settle this by war. And that is not a good thing. That's a bad thing. That's a failed attempt at, at keeping things peaceful. And so Space Marines in that regard should never be the first option. They should be the very bottom option. And they're not. It's not portrayed in that way in Warhammer 40,000. It's like, no, they're Space Marines. We're here to save the day. And then destroy the planet. Well, you didn't save fuck all. You destroyed the planet. You killed all the people. You didn't save anybody. And so how are you heroic? How precisely are you a fucking hero if you murdered an entire planet of innocent people? In any regard. You know what I mean? So Space Marines are not heroes. They're not. So, anyway. / end rant. Oh, where the hell am I? I don't know. I'm lost now. Aqua. It's not racist doing an Irish accent. I'm used to it. Okay, well, there we go. I got the pass. I got the pass. I can keep doing my shitty Irish accent imitation. I don't even know what it is. It's not an. It's more like I'm doing like the pikeys from Snatch. It's like doing more like that. Oh man. Enforcer Kris talks about fears of other people's in comics, and in Kris' stereotypical Irish accent. Top of the morning to you. I know, talking about like xenophobic and being intolerant, and then here I am doing an Irish accent impression, right? I know. It's in one ear, out the other kind of thing. I get it. I know. It's not lost on me. Don't worry. It's not lost on me. Spartan to paintball. Well, that's a bit of racist Irish voice. Yeah, is it? It's a bit racist. It's a bit racist. Enforcer. I know I should send an email. I've been doing. Been a long time since I've done one. Yeah, or post it in Discord, right? I mean, yeah. Episode 334. Kris out of the closet. Alan Smithy, curious about the boys. Episode 334. All right. Alan Smithy. I miss old Warhammer when it was openly extreme satire of every political and religious ideology. That's why I'm mostly playing Necromunda and Inquisitor 28 now. Cool. Yeah. Brandon Taylor. Marines are a weapon of mass destruction. Are they? Because, I mean, like, how does a Space Marine compare to Exterminatus? Like the what is it? The World Eater virus, I think it's called. Basically, it's a virus, spreads over the world, kills all the biomatter, and then sets fire to everything, right? That's Exterminatus. Now, how does that compare to a Space Marine? A Space Marine, like, the only reason you send a Space Marine in to a planet is so that you keep the population or the infrastructure or both intact. And that's the goal of sending actual personnel in down to a world to, to beat off the enemy. You're not beating, you're slaying dragons. No, you are, you're fighting to preserve the people and the infrastructure in place. That's the whole point of sending troops in. Real world or fantasy. That's why. If your goal is to just completely wipe out a planet, well, you just send in a World Eater virus, right? Or the Exterminatus. You just Exterminatus the world. I'm sure the Imperium can make an Exterminatus missile for every world in the known galaxy. I'm sure they can make a missile for every world. That'd be millions and millions of missiles, but I'm sure they could. And just put them on all the ships, set them off all of the worlds. Oh, does the world need to be exterminated? Yep. Bang. Exterminate the world. Bang. Won the war, right? For that world. Oh, an alien world? There's a bunch of people. Exterminatus. Bang. Problem solved, right? You don't send in Marines for that. Again, the Marines, they're never portrayed sacrificing themselves to save a world, right? Because the creation of a Marine is just so precious. It's so precious to hang on to these Space Marines, because the technology to make them has been lost. It's shrouded in mystery. And so the Imperium is like a mechanism to keep Space Marines, right? The Space Marine is, we got to protect the Space Marines because, it's all about Space Marines. Like, it doesn't make any sense. The Imperial Guard, which is just a lowly common soldier, they just are expendable. And, that is the fault of the Imperium and empires for creating this hierarchy of better people, that there are people that are better, and that the Imperium serves these better people, right? And that's wrong. That's going to be a failed society, and in fact, that kind of thinking wouldn't work. And I've mentioned this many times before, that the Imperium of Man would be a failed state immediately. It wouldn't make 40,000 years. It would make it, it'd be the year 3K. It just would only last a couple centuries, and then it would fail, and it wouldn't work. The Imperium wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. David Brunfeld, in 40K, the typical human is just 50-cent kid's bubblegum machine toy. They are just tossed into the dump with no regards and left to die and being disabled after being hurt. Yeah, the typical human? Yeah, exactly, right? And I mean, who's going to fight? I mean, you raise an army and everybody feels like they're being discarded. Yeah, they're likely to turn on you. One Inquisitor is not going to make that difference. He's going to get maybe 2 or 3 soldiers before the whole platoon, does them in, right? You would have open rebellion on every world in the Imperium if you were just callously throwing humans away like that. Like, nobody would fight. Nobody would want to fight, right? It's, again, because it's completely made up crap. But if you are to draw real world parallels, the Imperium of Man would not work. It just would be a completely failed state, just because hierarchical tyranny, crushing human freedoms. Systems would be rebelling all over the place. Not even just from chaos incursions or gene stealer cults or any of these crazy ass things. Just from the very basic fact, human beings want to live free. People want to be free. Worlds would rebel. No, you got to do as I say. I have a gun here and a big pointy hat. No, too fucking bad. There's millions of us. You're not going to tell us what to do. And you'd be left to exterminating entire planets. You know what I mean? You'd have to crush every world would have to be crushed morally. They'd be demoralized, right? They would have to be. And again, that's a failed state. Again, it's no good. The universe of Warhammer 40,000 is not where we want to be in 40,000 years. Lord Krabby, Kris, I know you're not into sweets, but what are your favorite snacks? Sweets. Cookies. I love cookies. Chips. I like chips. I like all sorts of snacks. I'll eat just about anything. That didn't sound right. Rezio, Kris, I think you're overlooking a lot of Space Marine stories here. It's way more complicated than that, and there's a lot of heroic actions and battles. But on the greater whole, is the Imperium geared towards Space Marines being there to protect humanity, or is the Imperium there to protect the Space Marines? Right? Russ Sandbags, who would win 40k end times? Tyranids? 40k in the end times? logically, I would say it would be a toss-up between, like, who would be left, okay? In the end times of Warhammer 40,000, the universe as it is, as we understand it, and everything like that, as far as the lore is concerned, who would be left? Yeah, it'd either be the Tyranids or the Necrons. And it would be kind of, I think, personally, Tyranids and Necrons are kind of the yin-yang of the universe. So, yeah. That's how I would foresee everything playing out, is either would be the Tyranids consuming all life or the Necrons destroying all life. Right? The humans would be wiped out. Eldar would get wiped out. Orcs would be all consumed. You know what I mean? Like the Tyranids are just, there's just no stopping them because they just use up all the biomatter, right? Whereas Necrons, with their crazy discombobulator rays, they destroy all matter. So there's, and they just vacuum clean away life, right? They just move around. So how do you defeat them, right? Like technically, there's no way to stop Necrons because they just regenerate. They just keep coming. There's just no stopping them. Tyranids, you keep killing all the beasties, and they just keep consuming and then popping out new beasties, right? There's just no stopping them. So, yeah. Brandon, why not chaos? Because chaos is not real, and it's not in this universe. And Necrons, in the old lore for Necrons, the Necrons, to stop the old ones, they separated the universe. They separated the warp space and the universe. They made it two different dimensions. That's some advanced fucking technology for your ass, for Necrons, right? Like Necron tech, it should look magical to everybody in the Imperium because they should be millions of years ahead technologically of everybody because they were keeping pace with the old ones who made pretty much, you know, everything we understand of the universe, right? In Warhammer 40,000. So, yeah. It's just they got tricked because, you know, their ambition got the better of them. That's the moral of the story for the Necrons, right? At least in the old lore. But yeah, chaos, I mean, like, yeah, you can just, you know, separate them, stop demonic incursions. I mean, you know. And chaos is a mirror of the real universe. So if Necrons are destroy all life and Tyranids are consume all life, the warp would reflect that, right? And it would just become two chaos powers, essentially, right? You know, so yeah. Reziel, the mission of the Marines is, as servants of the Imperium, the rich complexity of the setting shows how this can fall apart, though. So many Marines remember their goal. Right, but I mean, like, Marines aren't utilized in that fashion in the stories. They're not the spearhead. They're not the... Because, like, oi, thank you, Tal Rasha, for the follow. Thank you. The Space Marines, like, they're in every battle, and they would not be used in every battle. That's the Imperial Guard. The Imperial Guard would be every battle, right? Same with, like, the Titans. The Titans would be a rare occurrence. You wouldn't just get Titans showing up and, you know, at every battle. I mean, like, you know, Space Marines, you know, in the lore are regarded as myth, right? They're supposed to be a myth because there's so few of them. And so they're so precious. It is so precious because the technology for creating them, at least in the old lore, the technology was lost for creating Space Marines. So that's why they're so precious. So a precious commodity, you wouldn't use it in just willy-nilly combats. You would use them in strike forces and to turn the tide of a battle. That's a Space Marine, right? But the ultimate idea for a Space Marine should be to sacrifice themselves for the greater of humanity. And that's not the case. That's not what they're about, right? They're the unstoppable man to purge the galaxy of heretics and, you know, aliens. That's not going to work. There's not enough of them to accomplish that goal. Yeah. So yeah. Where the hell am I? I don't even know where the hell I am. Nick Dumont, orcs are hard to fully eradicate. Tyranids will have the best shot. Tyranids would eradicate a world. A world consumed by Tyranids, they would just consume all the biomatter and then repurpose it. So even if Tyranids or orcs were, little spores in the ground, yeah, the Tyranids would just gobble that up because because the way it's written that how they work is they just consume all the biomatter, right? I mean, realistically, Tyranids would consume even the inorganic material, right? Because, I mean, what is organic material? Well, it's a combination of inorganic materials and compounds, right? Complex compounds. Well, like, for example, in iron in blood, right? Well, they would consume iron and then just diffuse it through their organisms because, they need it for their blood, right? That's an example of using inorganic material to create, organic. So they would just basically consume worlds of all resources, not just the biomatter, but the actual inorganic matter, because you create complex compounds and, from the actual inorganic matter, right? So Tyranids should just consume everything. So going by that kind of logic, yeah, Tyranids should be able to consume Necrons because they can consume the metals that they're made from. If they are made from metals, whatever crazy sci-fi metals you want to make up, sure. Can they consume it? Who knows, right? But Necrons shoot crazy discombobulator rays, and, they also create null space around them. So the Tyranids really should have a hard time maintaining their hive link around Necrons, because Necrons create a null space for negative, psychic energy, right? Again, there's all these crazy made-up things you want to make up for, but otherwise, yeah, the Imperium wouldn't make it. Humanity wouldn't make it. The way it works for the way the Empire is set up, it'll fail. It'll fail. Empires come and go, right? First rule of empires: empires come and go. So human empire would fade, because that's the nature of empires. I mean, anybody who studies history knows empires come and go. Empires don't last, right? Even the current empire that we're currently residing in will pass. Nothing lasts, and empires certainly don't last. Russ Sandbags. Weren't Eldar keeping the old ones alive? I think there is some lore somewhere the orcs ones were on a craft world. As far as Eldar keeping old ones alive, I mean, that's something that would be something possibly like Harlequins would be involved in, like keeping old ones in the webway kind of thing, right? Because the webway is a weird kind of dimensional space between space, right? That's where the webway resides. It's not real world, or it's not real universe, and it's not the warp. It's between. It's in that substrate between membranes of universes, right? That's where the webway is, at least as far as the lore is concerned, right? As far as all this made up bullshit is concerned, yeah, that's where it resides. Brandon Taylor, think the old ones escaped to another galaxy and sent the Nids to consume everything to start over? Who knows, right? Who knows? Did the old ones send the Tyranids? That's a fun one, right? Yeah, that's a fun idea. Did the old ones send the Tyranids? Are the Tyranids a creation of the old ones? Yeah. An interesting idea. Yeah, I never considered that one. That's an interesting one. Shade Chateau. Finally caught a stream time to brush up the brushes. To brush up the brushes? Brush up the brushes. Cool. Tal Rasha 322. I don't speak Russian. Or was it Cyrillic? Is that what that's called? Cyrillic? I can't remember. But I don't speak Russian. So I don't know if they're shouting obscenities at me or saying hello. But I'm going to assume they're saying hello. So hello. I have no idea. Rezio. This isn't true about Marines. They are not only in every battle, but they also do a lot of good. There's just so many battles that Marines are always fighting. Many stories show their sacrifice. Right, but they can't be in that many battles because the galaxy is consumed in war, right? And there's, like, in the old lore, there's only 1,000 Space Marine chapters. and they're only supposed to be 1,000 strong. Now, yes, there are a few chapters who break those rules, like, say, for example, Black Templars. Black Templars break that rule of, of being 1,000 strong, because they run so many crusades, and they recruit from the worlds that they conquer. So they're constantly replenishing their ranks, right? But the overarching rule is that the technology that allows them to make new Space Marines was lost, which is why it was so important for Space Marines to re-harvest the gene seed, because that was like the starting seed for making a Space Marine. They had to recover the Space Marine gene seed. It's just like Eldar recovering the Waystone, right? The spirit of an Eldar. It's kind of like that. They had to recover the gene seed because they don't know how to make the gene seeds. Now, in the current lore, do they know how to make the gene seed? Well, I guess so, because they're making all these Primaris Marines, and they're making new Space Marines. So the cap on 1,000 Space Marine chapters being 1,000 strong is kind of over, right? But that's a definable number of Space Marines. Even if chapters like Space Wolves or Black Templars, who weren't observing that cap, how big were they? Well, in the old lore, the legions were 10,000 strong, right? Each chapter was 10,000 strong, and each chapter, you might be able to, spearhead some wars, but to hang on to the entirety of the galaxy as the Imperium of Man is supposed to, that requires a garrison force of unimaginable numbers. That means that Space Marines have to be in unimaginable numbers, right? And they're not. At least that's not how they're described in the lore. So the Imperial Guard is the one that has to maintain that. And in fact, realistically, to maintain the Empire, there has to be uncountable numbers of fleets. It's the fleet that's going to maintain the Empire. Just like the British maintained their empire with a massive fleet. That's how it has to happen. That is got to be the most important aspect of the Imperium, is their fleet. Is that the case? No, that's not. In the lore, it's described that the ships are ancient, and again, it's a crumbling empire. It is failing. It is a failed empire, because empires come and go. Empires don't last. Again, Warhammer 40,000 is not a hopeful story. It is actually a failed story. It's a tragedy. But it's perceived as some glorious fucking thing, and that's false. Warhammer 40,000 is a tragedy. It's a tragic story of the end, basically the end of humanity. Really. Spartan to paintball. Well, I'm out. I need to get some hobby shopping. Cool. See you later. No fucks. I don't think you've read enough. LOL. Often in huge system worldwide conflict. Sure. But I mean, what are we talking about here? The justification of war? Is that what we're talking about? You want to talk about the justification for war? Is that the side you want to take? Rezio, actually, it has been written many times that a single Marine kill team can bring a world to compliance. Depends on the situation. Sure. Again, Space Marines they're too rare, and realistically, how big to imagine the entire galaxy being occupied as an empire, to occupy the entire galaxy as an empire. Do you realize how big a force is needed to maintain that as an empire? Not just a free state of humans and maintaining little fiefdoms or states or nations. It would be huge. And because of the nature of how travel is supposed to occur in Warhammer 40,000, and even communication across vast distances, how it's supposed to work in Warhammer 40,000. I'm just going by the rules of Warhammer 40,000, mind you, not real science and how it's supposed to work. But the lore, how the lore describes how that's all supposed to work. It would fail. It's a failure. It would be a massive failure. Lord Krabby. Yeah, Kris isn't wrong, but I could be propaganda. Black Library produces. I love Space Marines due to the romanticism of it, but are they good guys or are they necessary evil? Yes, for a galaxy like that. Yeah, are they a necessary evil? Sure. Are they? But Space Marines aren't evil inherently. But in the stories, yeah, they are glorified. But in fact, they wouldn't be. They shouldn't be. We should not be idolizing something like that. As far as real world culture is concerned, that's a failure. Warhammer 40,000. I mean, the Empire is fascism. They're fascists, right? There's no denying that. And that is a failed state. And even in the real world, it's failed a few times. Right? Fascism fails. It's a system set up. It's a flawed ideological system, and it'll fail. And it has. We've seen it many times. It fails. Alan Smithy. Grimdark is apparently bad. Well, it's a made up setting. I mean, and yeah, it is. Warhammer 40,000 is a tragedy. I mean, it's not an ideal time to be living. It's a tragic time to be alive in that time, in that supposed time. Rezia, I don't think the span of time the story is set in is very unrealistic. It's something like 20,000 years. There's no idea how humanity would change. And the idea of Warhammer 40,000 being so intolerant towards mutants and psychics and heretics. Well, heretics is, I mean, if you really want to just take a very kind of nuts and bolts type of look at heresy is a different view of opinion. So anybody could be branded a heretic for a differing opinion. Right? That's heresy, a differing opinion from the dogma of the current age, which would be in Warhammer 40,000, right? You'd be branded a heretic for having a different opinion. So right then and there, that is a huge problem, right? Killing mutants, right? The unclean mutants, intolerance, would fail. Why? Because 40,000 years, humans would be very different. Humans across different portions of the universe would be very different. Humans on different worlds of high gravity, low gravity, thick atmosphere, thin atmosphere. The people would change. These forms are malleable, right? We would not be the same. So humans on other ends of the galaxies would look different to each other. Well, who's the mutant? You tell me. Right? I mean, like, see, again, because it's made up bullshit. Again, it shouldn't be taken as a guide that, yeah, the Warhammer 40,000 universe could happen. It would fail tremendously. If it did succeed, there would be a very short period in which it would live within a golden age, and it would be a failure for all time. Because, first of all, it is a fascist system, and we've already seen many fascist systems come and go, even within the span of 100 years. Right? Fascism fails. I'm sorry to say. Anybody who thinks fascism is just fantastic, it fails. It comes and goes. Ba-dum-bum-bum. No fucks given. When people just countering your understanding of Marines, you switch to how the Imperium operates or how there aren't enough of them. What? I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Enforcer, the true answer we need of 40k end times is Kaldor Drago kick his warp dust rabbit. Yeah. Rezil, the Imperium regiments are doing 75% of the fighting. Yeah, but I mean, like, how vast? Think about how big the galaxy is. The Milky Way galaxy, that's the Imperium of Man, right? At least that's the way it's depicted in the maps, is the entire Milky Way galaxy is the Imperium of Man. How many fucking worlds there are? like realistically, the Imperium has to be maintained by a big, massive fleet. And even in the lore of Warhammer 40,000, the fleet, they don't make new ships. They're old. They're ancient. It's a crumbling system. It's a failure. The Imperium of Man is a failure. Once the Emperor dies, of course. It's on the upswing when he's around, but once he's dead and the bureaucracy takes over, it's all fucked up. Bayushi, I'm confused. Wasn't 40k story not always about the death struggle of the Imperium? Did it change? Warhammer 40,000, yeah, was always about the endless cycle of war that humanity would be in because of these policies. Purge the unclean, the mutant, the heretic, and the demon. Well, the demon, demons aren't real, but you know what I mean? Like, it's intolerance. I mean, it's a lesson in when Warhammer 40,000 was created. It was satire of the modern era. It was, making light of the conservative government in Europe or in the UK at the time. Thatcherism. It was satire on Thatcherism. Rezio. Oh, if I lived in 40k, I doubt I'd be expressing the wrong opinions, lol, but it's a fictional universe. I'm not bothered by some of its fantastic elements. Oh, no, of course not. I mean, why would you? It's like being upset over Superman or Star Wars. Like, why would you be upset about these made-up things? Why would you get worked up about these made-up things, these bullshit things? These are made up. It's made up. It's not real. Like, why would you feel anything other than, I don't know. I don't even know what you would feel, but I mean, like, it's not real. Like, if you're getting worked up about the reality of Warhammer 40,000, whether or not it is the depiction of a failed state, if you're getting worked up about that, by me saying that it's bullshit and it would fail, you need to re-examine your priorities. Terracotta 9. I came for the hobby, but stay for the rants. Yeah. Holy crap, it's already 2. Man, I didn't even get to the emails yet. We gotta start wrapping this up soon. No fucks given. This is a stupid argument. Most of what you keep repeating on logistics, nobody is disagreeing. It's just your take on the Marines, which you avoid. My take on the Marines. What about the Marines? Well, what about the Marines? What did I say about the Marines? That they're not heroic? They're not heroic? They're not. They're not heroes. Rezio, the Imperium is not the entire galaxy. There are plenty of unknown regions. Hey, Kris, the Eldar are a failure. They are a failure. The Eldar are a failure. Yeah. Pretty much everything in Warhammer 40,000. Warhammer 40,000 is not a good place to be in at all. I think that's kind of the moral of the story. I think everybody kind of forgets that. Lord Grabby, the Darkest Night happened because of the Golden Age. The story of fascism never dies as long as the worship of Corpse Emperor eject Emperor from throne. Yeah, overthrow the Emperor, yeah. No fucks. Marines constantly fight their whole lives. They're rare. There isn't even one Marine for each planet. It's rare to see more than 10 Marines in one conflict. It would be. Yeah. They would be at least that's the way they describe it in the literature, that they would be regarded as myth. That it'd be very rare to encounter a Space Marine, right? To even confirm the reality of Space Marines. Now, how can they be the main fighting arm of the Imperium's rule if they're myth? Right? If they're regarded as myth, how can they be the proper fighting arm? Especially when it's so hard to produce them, right? It would be super rare. A lot of resources has to go into making a Marine, as opposed to an Imperial Guard, which is, apparently a weekend training lesson, learning annex, on how, lasgun safety, and then, rush them out to a battlefield, right? Again, Warhammer 40,000 is not a manual to the future. It's more of a cautionary tale. Brandon, Orc Society isn't a failure. Okay, well, yes. Yeah, how can Orc Society fail when they don't view success or failure in the same regards, and everything is pretty much success. So yeah, they're always winning. Yes, Orc Society would be full of tiger blood. Winning. They're always winning. Oh, man. Alan Smithy. I think the big part of how G-Dubs transitioned from Oldhammer view of all bad empires and countercultural sci-fi of the 80s to newer G-Dubs of glorifying heroes to sell more models. Yeah, and that's what it is, right? That's how it transitions from being, punk rock to pop. How does that transition happen, right? And usually it's when money starts getting made. Really, that's when the transition occurs. So, Warhammer 40,000, yeah, was punk rock when it first came out and when it was first conceptualized, and now it's more like pop, right? Yeah, that's really what it is. It's pop. Because now you have the little grab bags of the little heroes, and they're even Space Marines, right? Those box sets, they're called heroes, Space Marine heroes, right? Those boxes, because Space Marines are depicted as the heroes, and they're not. They're not heroes. Rezio, the Marines aren't the main arm by far. This is one of the main problems with how you describe Marines. They are the main arm, because Games Workshop has made everything about Warhammer 40,000 about Space Marines. Everything about Warhammer 40,000 is about Space Marines. The Imperium of Man is about Space Marines. It's all about Space Marines. That's my point. When in fact it shouldn't be. If you're going to, portray the universe in, any kind of shred of, I don't want to say logic or realism, but lacking a better term for those, it would be the Imperial Guard, right? Or even the Navy, the Imperial Navy. Because that's really what keeps the Imperium. That's what's going to keep the Empire, is the Imperial Navy. That's how it maintains, right? It's the big ships. But anyway. Heretic Scott, smell that? Smells like emails. You smell what the Heretic Scott's cooking? Yeah, let's jump to an email. Jabba's left nut. You nerds think too much about kids' toys. Yes, I agree, Jabba. That is something that I've realized for a long time, that there's just way too much thought into this kind of stuff. And like I said, if you're getting really worked up about this kind of stuff in this conversation, you got to readdress your priorities. I think even me, I got to readdress them, because sometimes it's like, no, and especially because oftentimes when I watch and consume, media like sci-fi and movies and things like that, I often view it through the lens of, well, what is the moral of the story? What is the metaphor they're trying to convey? And Warhammer 40,000 is a metaphor. It's just these days the metaphor has transitioned, and what it used to be was quite clear, and everything was built upon that clearer idea. Nowadays it's become very muddled as far as what it was trying to say. Like I said, it was more punk rock. Warhammer 40,000 was punk rock. Now it's pop, right? So yeah. Axel, phew, I'm back. Safe place. Shade Shadow, happy the only Marines I have turned traitor. Sure. I mean, like, again, these are all commercial decisions. And, obviously when you are talking about commercial decisions and, ideas of themes, oftentimes they don't mix, right? And you see that a lot in a lot of popular media, movies, books, whatever, right? Something starts to make, when an idea starts to make money, then things start to change in the idea, right? And so 40K went through that same process. It was punk rock. It was a really great idea. And then money started to be made and that idea changed. And then everything about the idea becomes about making money, right? And so the idea gets kind of glossed over and washed and, bang. Heroes. Space Marine heroes. Space Marines are heroes, No. The Imperium are the good guys. The Imperiums aren't the good. The Imperium is not the good guys. But I think that's pretty widely held view. Anybody who's into the background of Warhammer 40,000, that the Imperium are the good guys, even though it's always portrayed as the good guys, and the stories are written from the perspective that the humans in the Imperium are the good guys, when in fact they're not. Can you do good things while being a bad guy? That's another topic. Oh man. Scott Radom, nothing wrong with being passionate about things, be it sports, cooking, or nerd shit. Sure. But if somebody says something in contrary to what you hold as precious and you get worked up about it, right? Like, what's your favorite team? Right? And I said, those guys are a bunch of fucking bums. You'd be saying, fuck you, your team's a bunch of bums, right? I mean, here you are. And now we're already into a shouting match. Right? And it's just shit. It's bullshit. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's bullshit. It doesn't matter. Nick Dumont. So GW marketing is from the angle of the Imperial propaganda. Are they? Fire Drinking. Hello, we talking about how good Marines are? On the tabletop or in the lore? Oh, man. No fucks given. Kris, don't make me open the cage to the Primaris double penetrators. Oh, good God. Could you imagine if they actually put out a unit like that and not realize the goof of that? Yeah, our Primaris double penetrators. Oh, I can see it. I can see them doing that. Nick Dumont, how would you like to know more? Yeah. Scott Radom, getting worked up is great, and the Browns will be steamrolling the Steelers for years to come. Suck it. I'm laughing because that statement is so crazy. It's so crazy. The Browns, come on. Oh, shit. All right, let's do an email. Because, holy crap, we're 10 minutes OT, and yeah, I gotta hurry up. If you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down, because here it comes. Email time. Email time. Oh, it's done? I'm never paying attention because I don't hear the audio. That's why. Anyway, this one is from my good buddy Brandon. Brandon, we used to hang like 20 years ago. Maybe a little less than that. But anyway, I deleted we were talking, because he sent an email last week about with his Necromunda, and I was kind of curious as to see some more of it, so I think he sent some more, so very cool. I deleted my Facebook years back. I made a new one specifically for work, but hobbies started sliding into it. I get bored painting the same thing, so I'll do something for my Marines. Then I painted my Goliath gang, work on Kill Team, etc. Last I played 40k was 6th edition. Coming to 9th was a bit, has been difficult. Everything is so different and I'm having a hard time getting the old rules out of my head. Yeah, I hear you. I started playing locally at the shop here last January. Wasn't long after that, everything closed up from the Kung Flu. That's racist, dude. When I first started painting, again, I started with the Primaris Imperial Fist Army. They are all different styles and skill progression looks a bit mental. Oh, because you're progressing as a painter and it just looks kind of, I get it, inconsistent. So I wanted to have a look at his little squat fella. I wanted to look at his squat. Oh, I like the little screen on the display there. That's pretty cool. Did you use that new Necron color on that screen? It looks very bright. Sorry, I'm supposed to be looking at the squat. I like this model though. This is a real cool model. Yeah, I like the painting. Nice work on the beard, and then the turquoise or the teal in his cloth. I like that. His name is Quartz. Some power generators. Some scenery. Very cool. Oh, look at this. Imperial Fist. I can't remember what the hell this stupid thing's called. Eradicator? We'll call it the double penetrator. The icon on the side, the Imperial Fist icon, is that like the Forge World door, or did you sculpt that, 3D print it? What's the icon on the side? What's that from? Looks cool. I like it. Nice work on the tank. It looks great. Nice and clean. Straightforward. I don't have any comments for that. Looks good. I'm just kind of curious about the icon on the side now. Now you got me wondering. You got me wondering about the... Did you say yet? Oh, it is printed. Okay. All right. Well, there we go. Alan Smithy. Paul Verhoeven made Starship Troopers specifically to critique the unquestioned fascist themes of the book. He was raised in Nazi-occupied Holland, and it comes out in his movies a lot, like RoboCop. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Starship Troopers, yeah, that was a failure when it came out, but that's become obviously a cult classic since. And yeah, no, that's exactly it. It was a comment on fascism, right? Alan Smithy, that's a way better yellow coverage than I could. Yeah, no, the yellow on the tank there was really good. Yeah, it's solid, No, the painting on it, is excellent. It's nice and clean. Are there areas that Brandon can improve? Sure, everybody, right? But if I'm looking at the work itself and judging it on its own merits at the moment, it's a good paint job. It's nice and clean. It's, there's nothing on it that I'm go, oh, well, like mold lines. I can harp on mold lines. I always harp on mold lines, right? But that's a minor. Because even with mold lines, like if you were really that concerned about the mold lines, you could always incorporate that into like weathering, and it's kind of a make lemonade kind of situation, right? When you're looking at that kind of stuff. Any other comments? Nope. Okay. We are going to jump into another email. This one is from our buddy Scott Radum. Haha, finally done. I did the body of the yellow different than I have previously, shooting to give it more of a texture and real life work. Stippling, then glazed over top, glazed Vallejo, game dark flesh, and GW Incubi Darkness to switch up the look some. Anyway, fire away any thoughts. I was loosely clocking project time on this, and I think it's around 35 hours. I'll be doing some small ass shit next. What does that mean, small ass shit? some small ass shit. Just banging them out. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Oh, fuck. Too much, dude. Too much. Yeah, this had a look of like yellow last time. Now this has more of a almost slight green shift. Yeah. Very cool. I like the weathering. I'm just admiring it. I think the claws, like if you're gonna look at like the, from the aspect of weathering, I think the claws and the bottoms of the feet would be more chipped. Like if you're gonna go for more of a weathered appearance, right? I think the claws and the bottom of the feet, the base, is cool. It feels really separated from the model, which I mean, helps in a lot of regards. I think a little bit of weathering, like a bit more than just like on the bolts, but like on the metal tiles, grease, grime, rust, previous paint jobs. You know what I mean? Things of that. But you already spent like 35 hours on them. I think markings, squadron markings, and especially if like I have no idea like what this vehicle is, like if it's supposed to be like a work vehicle, if it's for war. Oh, I like the little hazard markings up on the tower there, or the back, whatever that is. I don't know. Yeah, I think more of those hazard markings would be really cool. Like little triangles for indicators, warning signs, that kind of stuff, right? Like especially if it's like an industrial vehicle, it would have more of those little labels and logos and those kind of things. It's really good though. I like it. Yeah, the base. At first, the base felt like it kind of just jumped out at me, but I do like the base for him because he doesn't feel like he's kind of entering this area kind of thing, right? It's not like he's been sitting here and the base is like the same level of weathering, it's like he's moved into this area. No, I like it. It's really good. Yeah, I think it's more or less just like kind of details and just. I mean, we've talked about this in the past with some of the other projects that you've done. Kind of just like exploring the themes, because I mean, like obviously your technical skill is really great, and it's good, and you're very competent in your application of color, and your use of color is really good. Your sources of inspiration are obviously a big factor in how you're laying color down and such. And yeah, I think really the next phase for you is exploring the themes and then really kind of getting into the character of a piece and getting into the world building, as it were, right? But I really like it. It's a really good piece. The weathering's nice. Nothing really I would, like say, oh, well, you should be doing this and you should be doing that. No, nothing like that jumps out at me. Because, I mean, like, a lot of attention is paid and, exploring texture, right? I like the little pockmarking you did on the right hand shoulder there, or his left, I guess. That kind of weathering, like you've got like on that shoulder pad where you've created like the pockmarking, that's something you could have also done elsewhere on the model as well. I think also like the weathering, you start to kind of think about like you know, what this thing is, like the character, right? Like, what would he be doing? Where would he be going? You know, kind of environments and stuff like that. And, you know, you can kind of explore how things would weather, right? One thing, I can't remember what the hell it was, but like I had shown like doing weathering, like, you know, like when you have like the handrails and then weathering up that, because obviously a person would be traveling along that and scuffing up the paint job and everything like that, right? So you think about like points that would get really weathered and some points that wouldn't be quite as weathered, right? Because they would just, you know, they wouldn't be subject to any kind of wear and tear and, you know, chipping and, you know, those kind of things, right? That's all. That's just the overall point I'm just kind of trying to make. Scott, good point about making a little marking on the loader. Could have been added more for sure. Base color is Vallejo Middlestone, which is what they recommend for World War II German armor. Okay. Captain, let's dance. Hey, y'all. Hey. 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 All right. Last email. This one is from our good buddy, the Heretic Scott. This is Cultist Hideout. Howdy, Kris. As promised, here's some pictures of my Cultist Hideout painted in the grim darkish style. I'm not sure if it's a diorama or a terrain piece, so I guess it's a bit of both. I may expand on it in the future and add more on the interior. This was a great opportunity to practice using true metallic metal, OSL, pigments, even try some new things like working with UV resin. The sludge from the barrel does glow, but my camera doesn't pick it up too well. I wanted something a little more realistic looking than the pure green sludge you see so often on dioramas. The main structure is laser cut MDF and was originally supposed to be an old tavern. I added some greeblies, resin parts from Alien Labs, and 40K-ified. There we go. That's a term. 40K-ified. It's created what I think is an interesting aesthetic, perhaps some Fallout vibes. Feedback always welcome. Cheers, Heretic Scott. P.S. Some of the files were so large, so I have sent as a Google Drive attachment. They should just open normally. Okay, so, well, I see the pictures here. Oh, look at this. This is pretty. Oh, man, there's so much to look at. Damn. And this is for a diorama. I like it. I like that gate. I like the chaos spikies. I like the little pub sign. I think the weathering in the brick, that white, I think it might be a little intense. If there's a way to pull it back a bit, not be such a harsh white, I think would help. The sludge looks good. The barrel, like little pile of skulls. Lots of things going on here. It's really cool. On the OSL and the lights. Yeah. The red dragon. Yeah, I like the little panels. There's a lot going on here. It's really good. Oop, doggy. Shut it. My dog's barking now. We are unbound. Yeah, see, like the weathering in the bricks. See how like it looks like this. The overall whiteness of it is kind of the same as like the top portions of like the fence or like the base of the fence and like where the skull is, that little ledge there. I don't know what the hell you call that, what that stone would be, but see how it feels like brighter than that. And that necessarily shouldn't be the case. I like the weathering on the gate though. That's really good. And it's glow in the darky or fluorescent. Is it fluorescent or glow in the dark? Either way, I like it. Low light situation like that, sure, why not, right? I'm now. You said this is for a diorama, but what else is going in here? Is it going to be like some character pieces coming in? I'm curious now. I want to know what's going on here. I like it though. I like it. The only thing I would recommend is knocking that white, that erosion in the bricks, because that's kind of like the mortar, right, and everything, and that would run. I don't know if it needs to be that bright and that much of it. Yeah. That's it though. Like there is a lot going on, but it's not, it's not noisy. I think, yeah, I would just knock that white back in that brick. Just dull it. Just dull it down a bit. Because like some of the things, like I'm looking at like the side where you have the "We Are Unbound," it gets kind of lost. And, something like that, you want to bring more. Like there is like when doing things by miniature, there is this fine balance of, going for something really, really realistic. Fuck, I couldn't even spit that out. And something that's aesthetically pleasing to look at, right? And it's kind of this balancing act that you have to do. And yeah, some elements like the graffiti and stuff like that. I think more graffiti would be cool. And yeah, I'd push back that white. It's just a little bit bright and a little bit much in some areas. Because like on the one with the fence there, it feels like it almost should be like frost. And yeah, but really, really cool. Thank you for sending that in. Awesome stuff. And yeah, that was it. Yeah, awesome stuff. Really cool. And yeah, I can close that. There we go. Didn't need that open. What time we at here? Holy crumble, it's 29 minutes. Fluorescent. Oh, it's a fluorescent paint. Okay. It's a fluorescent paint. There's some other pics attached as the Google Drive files that show a cultist inside the building. Oh, I didn't see that. Damn. Let me see. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I completely missed that. There we go. So you can see there's a little guy hiding in the window. I like the window too. Now, is there going to be something in behind there? Like, is that guy going to stay there, or is that going to be something else? I like that though. That's fun. Yeah, that's it though. And the OSL on the lamp above the door reads a lot better from this angle. The other angle, for whatever reason, it didn't jive right. Yeah, I would just tone back that oxidization in the brick, or the weathering, I should say. Something about the sign as well. The sign feels like the lettering, the inside lettering, could be done in a white or a brighter color. And then you can weather it and make it look all messed up and, stuff like that. But yeah, make that sign a little bit more legible. Well, there's another angle of the ooze. I think the ooze looks good. I'm not. What exactly weren't you happy with? What weren't you happy with as far as like how this went? Because it looks really good. I like the multiple textures you got going on here with the crackled earth and the thicker muck combination, everything. I like your treatment of the ground is really good. Yeah. he's like, don't fucking come in here, man. You see the sign? It says Brody's. Are you fucking Brody? No, then fuck off. Yeah, the OSL on the lamp, really good. Above the door. From this angle, it really works. It feels like that light is hitting that door. I think realistically, with the light on that door, you see the edge highlighting you did on the beams for the window pane on the highest most window panes. Also, a bit of light would gather in that seam between the doors. If you put a tiniest of little delicate highlights just in that seam, less distance, but going just as high up that door, mirroring what you did on the inside for the panels. Yeah, I think that would, just at that spot, it wouldn't have to go all the way down. It would just go just at that same level as what you did for those highlights there in that pane. Or don't. Yeah, it's really good though. Yeah, das ist gut. Well, thank you for sending that in. Yeah, I like it. I like the little glass. How it looks like somebody tried to wipe away at it and stuff. I like that as well. It's really good stuff. Awesome. Thank you, Heretic Scott, for sending that in. Me like it. And look forward to more. I am looking forward to more. Oh, I am. Rezio, not gonna lie, I thought that sign said Bronies Ale. Bronies? Oh no. Heretic Scott, I was pretty pleased with it. The added pigment just made it more difficult to cure. It doesn't glow as much under UV. Overall, still happy with it. Yeah, I think it looks fine. I like the multi-coloring going on in it. Yeah, as far as being UV reactive, yeah, it didn't seem too intense, but I think that has more to do with the underpinning underneath the layer, and also how much pigment is in the UV resin anyway, right? But yeah, awesome stuff. So if you're brand new to this hobby, you want to show off what you're working on, you need help with a particular technique or paint or idea, whatever your question is, I welcome any and all questions. Send your emails to kris@wayofthebrush.com. It is in the description below, as well as a link to wayofthebrush.com. Central hub of all this silliness has links to all the social medias, as well as Discord. Join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. We keep the conversation rolling 24/7 there, so feel free to, join us and join in on the conversation, or lurk, whatever it is. It doesn't really matter, but yeah, feel free. In the description below is also a link for t-shirts and wayofthebrush.com. T-shirts. Want to get yourself a t-shirt? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Way of the Brush t-shirt. And of course, if you purchase yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt, and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at wayofthebrush.com. And you'll also find a link for Patreon. Huge, huge thank you to all my patrons. Without their support, this channel, these videos, just wouldn't be able to continue to go on. So a huge thank you. And if you want to help continue this channel to continue to grow, join us on Patreon. There are varying tiers of support, and there's various perks associated with those tiers. So feel free to pick whatever makes sense to you. And a huge thank you to everybody who does. Huge, huge thank you. If you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, sharing, and commenting, and all that stuff helps the channel as well. It helps the algorithm gods. That's what it is. It's like praying to the algorithm gods and, whatever. huge thank you to Carl, aka Guymere Alfer, aka Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out. If you love yourself some beer, you love yourself some Blood Bowl, Beer and Blood Bowl is where it's at. We always take the time to thank Carl, even though he is no longer with us, for taking the time out of his busy day to create the email jingle that plays before the email segment of the show. So always much love for Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby bro, Evan, for creating the intro, outro music that plays in the beginning and end of the show. So always much love to my baby bro, Evan. And of course, if you're into some rare comics, you're into that sort of thing. If you're into that sort of thing, EB Comics, check him out. He might have you the comic you're looking for to complete that collection. And so, check him out. He might have it. He's just driving around in a white van. It says free comics on the side. And yeah. Oh, right. Damn it. We didn't even name the episode, did we? Son of a bitch. Forgot to name the episode. Real quick. What's the name of this episode? Thanks for a nice evening, Kris. Thanks for joining me, Bayoshi. What's the name of this episode? Real quick. Come on, somebody. First one to type it in wins. Alan Smithy. Much love for Carl and good chatting with all of you. Have a good one. Yeah, later, Alan. That's not what I'm naming the show, though. Come on. Somebody's got a name. Let's go. First one wins. Who's the winner? Who's my winner? Who's my winner? Shade Shadow. Empires Never Last. Oh, Reziel. Gotta keep painting. That's it. There we go. Reziel, you win. That was the first comment. Gotta keep painting. Just gotta keep painting. Just gotta do it. You gotta. And seriously though, like when I was talking about that point earlier, yeah, you gotta keep painting. It's the only way you're gonna get good. It's the only way. You gotta just keep practicing. That's what it's all about. Just gotta keep at her, keep going, keep swimming. You just gotta keep painting. That's it. Fire Drake 18. Did you make the show? I don't think you can go until you do. Alan Smithy. Empires never last. Yes. Episode 334. Empires never last. No, they don't. They don't. I mean, I'm on all you history buffs. What empire still currently resides? I mean, I suppose if you really want to get into it, you know, the Holy Roman Catholic Empire, sure. But it's not what it was. British Empire? British Empire is not what it was. The American Empire? Well, we're still in the midst of it. But as the trends go, empires don't last. Scott Radham. The only heroes are the ones who are still listening. That's true. There's probably only, 2 of you left? Enforcer, episode 334. Fuck did we name the show? The fuck did we name the show? Fire Drink 18, episode 334. It's Brody's, you jabroni. Bronies. Oh, shit. Enforcer, does the McDonald's empire count? Sure. If it's an empire. I mean, does McDonald's empire follow the criteria of empires? That's the question. Does McDonald's follow the criteria for an empire? Alrighty, I'm getting the hell out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I'm going to go get something to eat. And we did something a little different. We did a getting paid projects done last night. I probably will do another one. I might do one today. I might do one tomorrow. Who knows? But I'm planning on doing more, just because I want to finish off projects, and I do want to get it back into some more live streaming. So I may do more live streaming, not just Way of the Brush, and occasionally getting projects done. I think getting projects done might be just me turning the camera on and getting some stuff done, as the name would suggest. Brandon, later, dude. Enforcer, take care, Kris. Good seeing the show again. Yes, it was nice having you guys, as always. Take care of those brushes. They'll take care of you, and I will see you guys later. I will. No matter what occurs, I'll see you. Maybe. God damn it. I was still muted. I thought I was talking to you guys the whole time. Because I was basically agreeing that, yeah, wait, the Monkey Empire. All hail the Monkey Empire. Are we more of a cult? We're definitely a cult. All right, I'm getting out of here. Guys, go. 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 Go! Go home. Don't you want to be in your home? Go home.